Hair-o-rama. That's our kitty girl. Come on now. You know, when you want the laptop to just place in between the two places, it'd be great. Michelle, good morning, love. Good morning. Happy solstice. I think it's tomorrow, Sue. I think solstice might be tomorrow. But I'll take it anyway. I'll take it early. Happy early solstice. Happy new moon. There's a new moon today. I'm trying to think. You know, and you have that sensation that there's something that you're not remembering. That's a spooky one, isn't it? So in my Spotify account, you can see that there are Jennifer and Jenna. I finally turned it around so I can see everybody. 20 hours. Yeah, Sue. Oh, good morning. Hi, Shannon. Yes, thank you. Today is day 100. Thank you, love. Thanks for reminding me. You have survived, Martha, at home, online, 100 days in a row. So in the Spotify account, if you like, there is what I've been using recently. It says Vinyasa on shuffle. And I just keep adding tracks to that. And then every time I play, the shuffle means that it keeps reassembling that playlist. So you're welcome to use that. Or if you'd like to choose the other playlists of Vinyasa, tend to have a little bit more of a architecture to them, which will carry you. Or you're welcome to just, man, I'm hungry for quiet. So the whole theme of this sequence today will be just building piece by piece by piece and rinse and stay. And come back and build a new posture, build it piece by piece by piece and stay. Have a great ride. And I will see you soon. So let's start it out on the back. And it was taught to me recently, this idea, and she called it emptying the trash. And at first I was quite resistant. I will absolutely give you that. If you want music, start yourself up. As you come down onto your back, shake out your feet, shake out your knees, shake out your elbows, shake out your hands. Give yourself a little bit of a wiggle here. And then close both hands into tight fists and pull your fist towards your shoulders and scrunch up your face. And you just get to hold that moment of intensity until you can't and you let it out. And you close your hands, you close your fists, you pull it in, and you let it out. And you flex your feet, and you pull your heels towards your hips, and you flex your legs, but your arms are soft. And you pull your toes back towards your hips, and you firm your legs, and you release all of it. And you firm your feet, and you pull your heels towards your hips, and you are tight and strong in the legs, and you're soft in the arms. And you let it out. Good. Left hand, fist, tight, strong, left arm, left heel, left leg. So the whole left side, firm, strong, tight. Gather it up like you're gathering all the trash, and then out. right hand. Tight hand, drawing your fist towards your shoulder into your body. Flex your foot. Right heel toward the hip, hip into the body. Leg is strong, arm is strong. The whole right side tight and strong. Gather up the garbage. Sweep up the trash. Feel it all. And let it go. Let it go more. Let it go more. 2 heels, 2 feet, 2 hands. Your jaw, your face. Gather it, gather it, gather it. What can you find? What can you bring in from the past week? What can you hold so tightly? And it felt like this during the week. And then let go more. We'll finish that way and see what we've changed. Draw your knees into your chest. Press your shins towards your body. Right hand overhead, right leg out long. There's your inhale. Exhale, squeeze it in. Left hand overhead, left leg long. Exhale, squeeze it in. Inhale, exhale. How porous our body is. How spongy so many of our inner organs are. And our body, our joints, our liver, it all requires us to this open and close, to squeeze and release, to move through ourselves. It's how we detoxify. It's how we process our blood and our lymphatic system. It's how we help ourselves digest. Excellent. And we'll turn it into a bit of a twist by right leg long. And now the left knee drops across and the right hand falls and the left hand can be wide and it's soft and it's slow. We're just going to find the center and move left hand to right knee and fall to the left. So it could be very small to the center. And your knee may just hover or your knee may go to the floor. And now you can start to find your way a little at a time, softly side to side. You may have a slower pace. You may catch your knee on your hand so it doesn't drop. But we're just finding a little bit of a rinse here and letting it through the navel, letting it towards the upper back. This rinsing is a distributive force in our body. Taking what's necessary and wringing it into us, taking what's unnecessary and rinsing it out of us. Call it samam. One more. And knees to the chest. Okay. And just roll your way up. And today we'll use a blanket and 2 blocks. So just making sure that you have that. I'll fold my blanket. So I have a thick rectangle. I like to pad my knees and shins. Helps to open my ankles as well. And we'll meet on hands and knees, widening your knees, toes together, finding your way into child. Just folding your seat back. Little wag of the tail. We start, inhale all the way up. Tuck your toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. Just going to find the breath. Inhale, hands, knees. And exhale into child. In, hands, knees. Out to dog. In, hands, knees. Out to child. In, hands, knees. Broaden your back. Just find the rhythm of your breathing. If you need to pause anywhere along the way, take care of yourself, go where you need to go. Exhaling back, inhaling up, pressing back. And we'll pause in child. Feel the rhythm of that movement continue. Even as we stop, the breath is still bigger now.
And we'll do our 3 ohms, inhaling as we come to hands and knees, exhaling into the child's pose. A in the belly, U in the chest, M in the head. Eyes are closed. We're going to feel it all the way through the bones, all the way through the tissues. Just starting in our own sound. Inhaling up, hands, knees.
As you rise, add your blocks underneath your hands. Tuck your toes, find down dog, hands on blocks. Wag the tail. Pedal your knees, your feet, your heels. Good. Step your right foot up between your hands. And then take the back knee back an inch. Just feel the left hip open a little bit. Perfect. And now your hands come to the front surface of the blocks. And using your finger pads on the front of the block and using the back toes tucked under, start to get a little bit longer through the front of the left thigh and through the front of the chest. Left toes are tucked under, just lifting off. Go a little forward, go a little back. Exhale to your lunge. Inhale, hips up, fold back. Exhale, lunge. And back. And then pause. Good. Left knee down, right hand to right thigh. Just turn your navel. So that motion, that forward and back, and then this little rinse. Now let this move forward and back. And I can start to feel my left toes tucked under, my left hip coming forward, my left lung starting to change. The left side collarbone starting to change. One more. Good. And just hands downward facing dog. That simple forward back to a twist is what we will continue. Left foot steps up, right knee comes down. So I take my back knee back just an inch, right? A little bit of space. Right hip starts to open like a jaw. Walk my hands to the front edge of the block. Drop my fingers over the front of the block. Wrap my outer shoulders back towards my toes. And I start to wrap my heart forward, my sternum forward, and the very pads of your fingers on the fronts of the blocks. Lengthen your gaze a little further. Go through whatever you see. Opening the right hip, opening the front of the chest. Right hand stays where it is. Left hand comes onto your left thigh. Revolve the navel. And left hand down, forward and back. So lifting the back knee, shift your hips and bend the left knee. Inhale as you go back. Exhale as you bend. Take your heart forward with your left shin. Take yourself back into your back heel and then draw your heart forward. Good. Knee to the floor, hand to the thigh. Revolve now and a little forward and back. And a little forward and back. Letting your hips move. And each time you go, you're opening your right lung, right collarbone, starting to look a little higher along the wall. Whatever you can see, turning over the shoulder. And hands coming down and facing dog. Beautiful. And just start to feel the front line from your kneecap to your elbows. A little longer, a little higher. Right foot steps all the way up. Take your hands up high. Good. Bend your left elbow and touch your right shoulder. Right hand holds your left outer elbow. And now a little forward and a little back. A little forward and a little back. Your right hand is helping your elbow come up. Your left toes stay. Back of your head into your left forearm. Hands up high. Let it down. And step back down dog. Left hand, left hip, left heel. Feel the line.
Left foot steps up, right knee comes down, hands up high. Good, right hand to touch the left shoulder, left hand to touch the right outer elbow, and now a little forward and a little bit back. A little forward and a little bit back. Keep your back toes tucked under your front knee forward. Reach into that right elbow tip and let it flush out from knee to elbow. A little further. Good. Hands high and wide and down. Step back, down, dog. Good. Right foot steps up, left knee down, 2 hands up. Left elbow bends, hand to shoulder, right hand to the left. That's your breath. And then the hands down. Step yourself all the way up to the front of the mat. Lift halfway to lengthen. Fold the way down. Hands wide. Sit down. Turn your thumbs up, your heart up. You stand up tall. And palms together down the middle. Heels down. Inhale up. Bend in your knees. Hands wide. Roll your thumbs down, your heart down, fold down, and lift halfway. Right foot steps back, right knee down. 2 hands up. Right hand to the left shoulder, left hand. Inhale, take it up. And then exhale, set it down. Stepping down dog. Good. High plank on the blocks. Broad chest. Down dog, go back. Right foot steps up, left knee comes down. Hands up high. Left elbow bends. Hold the elbow. And 2 hands down. Step the left foot up. Halfway lift. And fold. Hands wide. Sit down, thumbs up, heart up. Stand up. Palms together. Thighs back, ribs back, thumbs down. And again, lift up. Folding down. Lift halfway. Right foot steps back, right knee down, 2 hands up. Bend your right elbow, touch the left. And take a breath. And 2 hands down. And step back downward facing dog. High plank on the blocks, look forward, take it back, down dog. Right foot steps up, left knee down. 2 hands high. Left elbow bends, touch your right shoulder, hold your left elbow, inhale there. Exhale, make space, set it down, stepping up. Now you may remove your blocks, we'll move a little more quickly. We'll release that bind, fold, hands wide, sit down, thumbs up, heart up, stand up, palms to touch, thumbs down towards the back of your neck. And then as you release, look up, hands wide. And fold to the floor. Halfway lift. Left foot steps back, left knee down, 2 hands high. Inhale up. Thumbs down, back, tuck your chin. Exhale, rinse. Inhale, release. And fold. Inhale, down dog. High plank. In dog. Left foot steps up, right knee down. Sweep up and open. Inhale. Down the back, tuck the chin. And release, right, and fold, step up, halfway lift, fold your way in. Hands wide, sit down, thumbs up, heart up, stand up, down the back, tuck the chin, elbows in, and then let it go. Folding all the way down. Lift halfway, right foot steps back, right knee down, 2 hands high, bring it up. Down the back. Hands up high and fold. Stepping back, downward facing. High plank, looking forward. Downward facing, take it back. Right foot steps up, left knee down, 2 hands high, inhale up. Down the back, tuck the chin. Hands up high, release. Hands down, listen now, step back, downward facing dog, pause, beat. Good. Right foot steps up, left knee down, 2 hands high, stay. Hold opposite elbows, go forward and back. Go forward and back. We've built the shape, we know where we are, stay. Hands up high. Interlace your fingers. Put them behind your head. Now wrap your elbows in. Go a little bit back in the legs, go a little bit forward. So that's your control. Drop into your hands and lift your lungs.
Straightening, bending your knee a little at a time, finding that you can open the left hip and lift your lungs, lift the tips of your elbows. Everything made it, you're ready. Oh, and then slowly bending the right knee a little more. Lift the lungs and bend the right knee. Lengthen the back of the spine and the front of the chest. One more, stay in it. And 2 hands up and 2 hands down. Take your time, downward facing dog. The left foot steps up, the right knee comes down, the 2 hands come up high. Hold opposite elbows, keep that as a frame, and now you control a lot of the intensity of the pose is how far you're going forward into your left knee. So as you come up, build the pose upright, right hip over left knee. And now hands high. Interlace your fingers behind the back of your head, elbows in, and begin to bend your right knee. Elbows in, and lift your lungs. Not just with your hands, not with your head, not with your spine, but your whole body is supporting your lungs. They're not going forward, they're going up. And your hips are coming right underneath them. Press your right toes down. And lift your lungs. Oh, tips of the elbows point up. Spine is long, we're gonna stay. 3 more breaths right here. Oh, up and out, into the breath, into the gaze. Bend the left knee. And then the hands reach high and fold down. Step your left foot back. Find your dog and feel your breath. There have been times this week I could not take a full breath. And the full breath starts in the backs of the arms, in the back of the body, in the front of the hips. Support yourself. Right heel high. Bring it up. Bring it up. Bring it up. Bend your right knee. Straighten it out. Bend your right knee. Bend your elbows. Straighten it out. Step your right foot up between your hands. Add a block beneath your left hand. Put your left knee to the floor. So we started here, rinsing, turning, hand on the knee. Now we take the right hand high. Turn your chest from the bottom hand. Left toes are tucked under, and all we do is reach back, looking forward, and reach up and over as you can, looking back, and reach back and looking forward. Reach up and over, looking back, like you're pressing with the palm of the hand, and then stay looking back. Feel where the breath can and cannot go. Press your left toes down. Press your right foot flat. Press your left hand down. Press your right palm flat. And find the breath in between all those soles, the soles of your feet, the soles of your hands, and 2 hands down. Block forward, step back, down dog. Feel the right hand, right hip, right heel. Left foot steps up, right knee down. Building a turn. Right hand down into the block, left hand to the thigh. Use the left hand to turn, left ribs over right. So right hand under the right shoulder, left shoulder over the right shoulder. Bring the left hand up. And you'll sweep it over, which might feel impossible. And you'll turn your palm and look forward as you reach back. And you'll reach overhead, looking back under your armpit. And look forward. And look back. And let this movement rinse out through the back of the spine, through the back of the chest, through the back of the neck. Turn your eyeballs, look back. 1 more. And when you reach overhead, stay. Press into the soles of your feet. Press into the palms of your hands. Where is the breath caught? Where can it move? What can it make? And 2 hands down. Block forward, step back. Downward facing, just notice your breath. Wag the tail, soften it out. And again,
Now, when you raise your right heel, if you choose, come onto your fingertips. And on your fingertips, it means we're coming up and out of the mat. Like you could levitate. Bend your right knee. Let it lightly straighten and bend. Keep rising up, out through the body. Right foot steps up, high lunge. So the back toes are under the back heel. Gaze is forward, heart is long, 2 hands high. Straighten the front leg, reach it up. Bend the front knee, bend the elbows, set it down. Inhale up and down. Start to feel your breathing expanding. The space you've made. Bend your knee, keep your lunge, hands up high. Square the left hip. Hold opposite elbows. Frame, pull with your hands. Your hands are holding your elbows in and your elbows are pulling out into your hands. Bring the heel of your back foot over the ball of your back toes. Interlace your fingers behind your head. Elbows wrap in, lift your lungs. Lift the back thigh. Ha! Ha! Left hip wraps forward. You are lifting your lungs. There's more to you than you know. For 2, wrap the left hip forward and hands up high. Sweep wide, set down, step back, down dog. Left hand, left hip, left heel. Breathe, 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 breathe. If you choose, onto your fingertips, the left heel rising high. Up out of the armpits, up out of the palms, up out of the arch of your back foot. Lightly bend and straighten the top leg, that there's no strain, there's no constraint. Good, 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 good. And step the left foot up, high lunge, back toes are off the floor. Back heel is off the floor. Before you start, lengthen the underbody. Lengthen the belly and the heart, and from there, let the hands rise high. Straighten your front leg, square the hips. And then lunging, bend your elbows. Inhaling up. You're lifting your back leg away from the floor. Go. Go. Good. Bend that front knee, bend the elbows, and hands only reaching. So as you reach up, wrap your right hip forward and check that the heel is over the ball of your foot behind you. And as you open the ball of foot, you'll feel yourself open the front of the right hip, interlace your fingers behind your head and lift your lungs. Let your hips come under your heart. Notice where you're straining and just drop your weight into your feet. Drop your head into your hands, let your heart high, and lift your lungs. Lift your lungs. Lift your gaze. Lift your mouth corners. Hands up high. Set it downward facing dog. Hands, knees. Inhale. Child's pose. Exhale. Inhale. Hands, knees. Out to dog. In the nose. Out the mouth. In the nose. Out the mouth. Make it bigger. Hands and knees. Bring your heart forward. Exhale. And we'll stay right there, just drawing yourself, elbows back, heart a little forward. Exhale, fold it back. 3. Elbows bending, heart forward, and send it back. And 1 more. And stay. So let's finish off that lunge. Hands and knees down dog, right heel high. Step your right foot forward, finding a high lunge, stay. You may add a block under your left hand, or if you're ready to be a little deeper in the hips, stay as you are. But wherever you go, turn your left hand so that the fingers point back towards your toes. So my left hand is turning back. My right hand turns my navel.
Little forward, little back. Set it up. Right hand high. Turn your palm to face the front. Slowly take it over. Left palm down. Revolve. Through the back heel, through the front knee. Turn your right palm to face the floor. Your left thumb turns left, open your left collarbone, your face is open, your jaw is free. And right hand down. And step back, downward facing dog. Left foot float. Because we missed it before. And the left foot steps up. Now, make your full lunge, and if that means that your right hand needs a support, put your hand on a block, or even on the block, turn your right fingers to point back. And what this does is we're opening the collarbones a little bit further, left hand on the thigh, so that we're not rounding and closing the right side body, but we're revolving left hand high, palm facing forward. Press into your feet, press into your palms, lift the back thigh, and begin to reach overhead. As you reach, revolve, scissoring the thighs. Find the breath. Bending the front knee, left thigh parallel to the floor. Revolving through the chest. And the left hand down. And downward facing dog, press back, take your time, wag your good tail. Hands and knees. And just rest in your child's pose. Rest in your child's pose. Feel the space you've made. If that's your half hour, come onto your back and rest in your Shavasana. If you're going on with me, we'll come to hands and knees. We'll build our dog and have both blocks ready. You turn the other way. Good. Down dog. Right foot steps up, building a warrior two. So your back heel now comes to the floor. Blocks are inside the front foot. And you sweep up wide, pausing. Settle in, and as you straighten your front leg, bring your palms together, inhaling up, and exhale, setting down. Good. Inhale, up and open. And exhale, set it down. And go one more. You've made space in the hips, so keep the back heel anchored as you bend your front knee. Just feel that space all through the inner groin and all the way out into the fingers. Right elbow to the right thigh, bring it up and overhead. And we'll do that 3 times, warrior two. Let's reverse, inhale back, and exhale, warrior two. Inhale, side angle, a little further into the left hip, and go wide. Inhale, reverse. And then exhale, warrior two, stay. 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 Straighten that front leg. Right hand comes down to the blocks. Left hand comes up over. Now, as you look to the blocks, make sure they're tall enough that you're not collapsing through the right hip. That there's still some space that you can manipulate your hips and press your palm down to reach overhead. And then turning, look down, left hand back. Just as you swept out those lunges, let's sweep out the triangle. Exhale, looking down, sweep back. Inhale, sweep over the top. One more. Now, with your hand back, turn your right palm back. Open the collarbone, look up. Now left hand high. As though you could feel the roof of your mouth and the crown of your head. Open the right armpit. The right side lung, the left heel is your anchor. Good, look down. Reverse right hand back to the block and left hand to your hip. Bring yourself up. Step your feet slightly closer. We need more light. 1 second. been too much, but right now, so much better. Good. So you step slightly in, set your heels on two separate lines so you can square your pelvis. Right hand at your hip, left hand high. Fold forward. Square the hips, fingertips finding the floor. So right hip wraps back, navel to spine, left hand comes up high. Square the hips again, lengthen, left side long. Reach out, reach out, reach out, reach down. Folding further over your right thigh. And inhale up. Square the hips, scissor the thighs. Now you may cross over to the little toe side. Take a block wherever you go. So maybe hands straight down to the blocks or wrap it outside your little toe. Right hand at the hip, scissor the thighs. Look over your shoulder. Right hand up high. Smaller now overhead. One time, look down, right hand back. It might be wobbly. Scissor your thighs, feel it all. Right hand straight up. Look up. On your exhalation, navel to spine. Exhale, navel to spine, lengthen your spine, press your heels down and scissor your thighs towards one another. That real rinse right through the middle. Last time, right thumb turns to point back. Put the back of your right hand to your low back, look down. Right elbow rolling open, left gaze, look down, scissor the thighs, right hand high. Bring it down. Step back, downward facing dog. Wag it out. And bring two knees down. And turn again, just so I stay facing you. So my left toes turn out to the left, my left hand's on a block, my right foot comes flat. And this is just irrigating everything. Left toes turn a little closer towards the block, and that will let my left hip come forward, my right foot flat, open the pelvis, open the jaw. Starting to build a little bit of a back bend. Right foot flat, press it into the floor. Feel the front of your pelvis grow long. Feel the navel grow wide. Good. Bend your right elbow, putting your head into your palm. Elbow wraps in, lift your right lung. Feel it all come together, one pose speaking to another. And right hand extends and set down. So you have blocks under your hands, please. Knees down, arms out long. Keep your hands on the blocks. Just a little more space in the chest and in the arms. Hands and knees. Blocks go forward. Downward facing. Good. The left foot. Step it up. Blocks inside the left foot. Back heel to the floor. And sweep wide. Good. Straighten the front leg. Bring your palms together. That comes in. And bending the left knee. Hands go wide. Breathing out. Inhale up. And exhale down. Inhale up. And exhale down. So you're keeping space in your warrior. You're keeping space. Back heel down. There's space in your left hip. Even and steady. Space in your breath. Left elbow, left thigh. Come over the top. Come over the top. Let your hips come under your heart. Stand flat in the right foot, left foot. Keep the feet strong, go wide. Reverse it. Straighten your left leg, open it up. And then bend your left knee, hands wide. Side angle, inhale. And exhale, deeper into your warrior. Reverse. We come back into that warrior and just pause a beat. Into the palms of your hands, into the soles of your feet, and let that open your inner thighs, your inner arms. Let it widen your breathing. Let it widen your vision. Left knee's going left, right knee's going right. Keep that action in the legs. Left leg straightens, left hand to the block, right hand high. Perfect. So the hips shift a little bit back and the right hand comes over. And sweep it out, right hand down. Up and over, looking up. Right hand back, looking down. Up and over. And down. Now, reaching back, looking down, flip your hand so that the wrist points forward and the fingers point back. Left shoulder goes back. Open the left collarbone, right hand straight up. Hips in line with your heart, scissoring the thighs slightly on your exhale. Rinse your navel to your spine and get longer through the spine. Feel the space you're inviting in the left collarbone, in the left lung. Take that space all the way to your feet. Good. And then looking down, turn the fingers forward and right hand to your hip. Stand it up. As you square your hips, step your feet a little bit closer. So you're about 3-4 feet apart, and that means you can wrap your right hip forward. Heels are in two separate lines. They're not in one line, so you may need to widen your right heel out to the side. Right hip is strong forward, back thigh is strong. Left hand, left hip, right hand, high fold. Fingertips to a block or to the floor. And then inhale, rise again, firming the back leg to lift your chest. Keep the front body long and wrap forward. Front body long, right hip forward, feet strong, folding. Fold a little further into the left side thigh. And the right hand high. Now we'll take it into a revolved triangle. So when you fold, take the block either inside the foot, under your shoulder, or outside to the little toe or hand to the floor. But you have enough space that you can feel the inner thighs drawn towards each other, and then the left hand up. So firm into the feet, firm the inner thighs, and tiny overhead. And reach back, looking down, rinse this shape, ha, all the way up over. Good. Set it down, ha. And now your full posture is from the soles of your feet. Press down, scissor the thighs, navel to spine, long through the spine. Breath right into the center of the chest, right into the center of the back. And looking down, setting it down. 2 hands down, press back, downward facing dog of just a moment. So from that deep navel twist, hands and knees, right hand on a block. I'll turn away from you now, so spin your right toes out, toes tuck under, left foot flat, left hand high, come up, come over. Walk your right toes closer to your right hand. Stand in your left foot. Your right hip coming forward. Start at the feet, feet into the floor. Then let the hips open forward, let the pelvis broaden. Lengthening the abdomen. Bend your left elbow. Drop the back of your head into your hand, elbow in, lift your left lung. Feel everything come together in this space, in this shape. A little longer, reach into the tip of the elbow, into the left heel, let the whole left side be long. And left hand out, and then the left hand down. Hands on blocks, hands and knees. As you sit yourself back, arms out long. There's space in the chest, there's space in the armpits. Rock up. Widen your hands, so slightly bend your elbows, catch yourself on your blocks. Press back down. Child. Exhale, bend. Inhale, child. Exhale, bend. Inhale, child. Close your eyes and move steadily. It may be very, very small, but you're making a little more heat and you're flushing out through the center body, the lungs, down into the seat. A little more, a little quicker. Eyes closed, let your breathing get deeper. Use all the space you've made. One more. Find your upward facing dog. Tuck your toes under. Firm your legs. Walk your feet a little closer. Let your heart come forward and back on the balls of your feet. Hands pressed down. Upper arms wrap the ribs forward. There's dignity in your pose. There's strength in your legs. The heels are strong. The legs are strong. The hands are strong. The chest is broad. You're warm. Outer hips wrap forward. Inner thighs wrap down. We stay 2. Press your hands down. Firm your legs. Press. And knees down. Blocks forward, down dog. To inhabit ourselves. To make space, to make quiet, to make ability. Left foot steps up. Turning to the center, stand tall. If it's better for you to be able to see, step your right foot up. However you need to go, feet are wide. Hands go wide. Sorry for all the backlighting here. It gets light, it gets dark. Good. Hands down the backs of your legs, toes turn in and folding. Step your feet close enough that when you slide down the backs of your legs, you can hold the backs of your ankles. And then you slide yourself back up and hands wide. Good. Softly bend the left knee. Take your right hand down. If you need a block, pop a block right there and revolve. Inhale up high, hands wide. Down the backs of your legs, fold. Inhale, stand tall, hands wide. Bend your right knee, left hand down, spin to revolve. And then stand hands high. Inhale all the way up, down the backs of your legs. Exhale, we flow. Inhale, stand up, hands wide. Bend the left knee, fold. Look up. Inhale, hands overhead. And down the backs of your legs, fold. Stand tall, hands wide. Right knee bends, left hand down, revolve. Empty the navel. Inhale, 2 hands up. Down the legs, hold the ankles, fold. Inhale, rise, hands wide. Left knee bends, right hand down, turning. 2 hands high, up the middle. We're just flushing it out, folding down. Legs grow clear and strong, rise up. Bend the right knee, left hand down, turning. And up the center, inhale high. Down the middle, and we'll stay folded. Stay 3. Widening the elbows. Shoulders away from the crown of the head to or toward the floor, thighs back, legs long. Even the toes are long. Back body's broad. Use the tips of your elbows. Hands up. Bend the left knee. Right hand down. Left hand high. Turn. Left hand reach slowly overhead. And left hand high. Standing tall, 2 hands up. 1 breath down the backs of the legs, fold. And up. Right knee bends, left hand down. Where you find the floor, pause, revolve. Right hand begins to reach overhead. Turn your right palm to see the floor. Left foot to the floor, right knee soft. Right hand high and stand tall. Last place to go is right down the middle. So just hover halfway, right hand to the floor. If your hand doesn't reach the floor, you have a block. And then from there, turning your navel left. So right shoulder over right wrist. Knees a little soft, find the outer feet, turn, left hand high. Turn. Now turn your thumb to point back. Your pinky points forward. Bend your left elbow. Bring it to the mid-back or even wrapping around to the top of the thigh. Revolve into that bind. Square your hips. Turning the left elbow, the left chest, the left hand comes high. Hand to hip, look down. Stand tall. Right hand holds the left wrist behind you. Looks like this. And just dropping both hands down and to the right, look right. Confirm your left heel. Looking right. Feel the turn from your left shoulder to your left jaw to the left heel. Heel into the floor. Open the left hand wide. Right to the top of the spine, right to the top of your head. And releasing, center, pausing. So the left hand, hands to the hips, left hand down to the block or to the floor. Good, start there and pivot so that the shoulder's over the wrist and the right shoulder's over the left and the right hand comes up high. Find center in your feet. Even weight, left side, right side, open, spin. Feel the evenness in your lungs, left side, right side. Lift the left hip a little bit. Turn your right thumb to point back. Bending your elbow, back of your hand to your mid-back. To your spine, or wrapping around to your left outer hip, look up. Breath right into the middle of the spine. Coax your left hip up. Back of your right hand to the mid-back, roll your right elbow, open right collarbone, open right hand high. Good, right hand to your hip, look down. Stand tall. Okay. Left hand holds the right wrist. Both hands drop down and to the left hip. And I turn to the left shoulder. And I anchor my right heel into the floor like for warrior 2. From that heel, I rise out of the mat with great dignity and height and space and perspective. Turn left with all that height. So the ribs are turning right because I'm holding my hand, but my chin is turning left, which is rinsing the spine from behind my heart to the base of my skull. Opening the right shoulder, the right side jaw, the right side collarbone. Access all the way into my brain, into the crown of my head. Good. Into the center. And hands down as you step to the top of the mat. I'll just face you. And now we have too much light. All of it through you. Anchoring it down into the floor. Pedal out your feet. And your right foot down and your left knee rising tall. Interlace your fingers. Feel how steady your legs may have become. It's a very grounding practice, what we've done today. Very grounding, right hand high. So much uncertainty, this sensation that we could rinse that through us and leave us with what's essential. Good. Change, set it up, even it out. Left foot down, gaze on one point, right knee high. Interlace your fingers and draw your right knee up and your left heel down and just feel settled. As though hugging your thigh muscle around your left bone. Heart up, left hand high, stay. Just gather yourself. All the space you've made, all the height that you have. And change. So the opposite shape. Right foot down, left knee bends, holding your outer ankle. Wrapping your shoulder back and down. Square your hips, square your chest. Send your left knee down. Scissor your thighs, draw your thighs towards each other, and lightly press your left hip forward. You can even use your right fingertips to help it. So right heel down, left hip forward, left chest is open, right hand high. Nothing more. Nothing more. Now if you choose, flex the left foot, hinging at the hip, everything stays. Heart stays high, hand stays high, lifting your heel. And just pause where you are. Opening the left side, left lung, left hip, left heel. And upright. And set it down. That if we build this quality of grounding and quiet, other things become possible. I'll turn so you can see the side. So left heel down, right hand holds the left heel. So the right knee goes down, the right shoulder opens. The left heel goes down and my right hip comes forward into my left fingertips. And that lengthens and opens the quadricep. My right shoulder opens and the shoulder blade down the back, square hips, square chest, left hand high. Gaze on one point, flex your back foot, keep it all, and simply hinge, keeping your left hand high. Gaze on one point, your right heel as though standing into the ceiling. Left heel into the floor. Just exploring without pushing what can open. And upright. Right knee down, heel in. Set it down. Stand tall and just feel that you're both grounded and enlivened. Shake out the hands, shake out the feet. We clear it out. Thumb and first fingers touch. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, elbows down to in to out. You can put a little bend in your knees. We're going to add lifting one knee and then lifting the other. You are moving through all the openings. Free the crease of your hips, free your breath, your ribs, your spine. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, hands up. And just shake it down. And stand, palms face forward. Strong and clear through the legs, energetic and open. And our opening is listening to a source that we suddenly can have access to. We are not separate any longer. We can feel our heartbeat, we can feel our light. May this connection fill our stillness and fill our silence. May we stand tall in the legs that are ours, and may we rest fully in this light. Shake it out. If that's 60 minutes for you, just Shavasana. If you're going on with me, onto your back, knees bend, feet flat. I really like having a blanket under me. Entirely up to you. Then when we're clear, doesn't take much. That little bit of lightning running through us has access. And just building a bridge. Option 1, you have a block. So option 1 is to be on your block, right under the sacrum. You can stand it up taller, or with your heels right under your knees, press straight down, elbows press down, tuck a shoulder, tuck another. Standing, just standing. Stand in your feet. Stand in your elbows. As you stand in your feet, in your heels, you're allowing the front of your pelvis to get longer. As you press your elbows down, you're allowing your heart to get longer. One more, just warming us, just starting us, and rolling down. And we all meet on the belly of the block, so it's lowest setting. Across the hips, widen your feet. And drop your right knee toward the center so that you drop onto your inner right foot. You can walk your right foot all the way off the mat. Just let it fall. Take your right hand overhead. So your right knee falls down. When I cue inner thigh wrapping down, this is the sensation we're going for. So give it a moment, letting your right knee be heavy. Even your left knee can fall a little bit open. You feel it down into the crease of your right hip, your right ribs, right shoulders, and change sides. So right foot goes flat. Let your left foot walk out to the left and let your left knee fall in. Left hand overhead. Left knee falls down, left hip opens. Inner thigh is wrapping down here. And give it time, because you are connected from that inner thigh through the low back. This great hinge of ourselves here. And how that connects to your diaphragm. Now the breath influences the brain. All of it. Good. Come back into center. Now you may stay right here on the block. You may turn your block up, again, keeping it a little more supported, or bringing your elbows down. Stand in your heels. Lift your hips by press. The more you press your heels down, the more your hips will rise. Interlace your fingers. Walk your shoulders in. Press the pinky edge of your hands down. You've made tremendous space through the side body. So use that. Stand in your heels, lightly pulling your heels towards your shoulders.
Press the back of your head down. Press the pinky edge of your hands down. Inner thighs wrap down. Inner heels wrap into the floor. Yes. And release your hands and come down slowly. Hands on thighs. Press away. Let the interior experience become larger than the exterior awareness. Let your right knee come into your chest, interlace your fingers, and just let it come close. And the right foot flat. Change sides, interlace your fingers over your left shin. Set it down. Hands on thighs. I'm going to work a little more deeply into the seat and the legs and the hips. If this is it, rest here. So beautiful to make space, make time, make stillness for yourself. Going on, draw your knees to your chest. Roll it up. Find a seat. So what we're going to do, we're going to take this blanket and fold it in half twice, front to back. All right? So now I've made this thick bolster. And I'm going to put the bolster under my left hip and under my left knee. And I fold my right side underneath me. So this is what the left side looks like. And this is what the right side looks like. Now, if that's not going to work for you because it's not enough support, you take your blanket and you fold it in half, again, so that you have a higher support. If it's too much on your ankle here, then you roll a towel and you put the towel under your right ankle bone, under your ankle joint, right? So that you can be upright. So I'm seated with my left hip supported, and my left hip's in line with my right. I just start to put my fingertips down, and that might be that. That could be the whole posture, which is great. Sit your seat back, tip your pelvis so that you're leading with your heart, and you begin to just inch your fingertips forward. And I am not excited about how far you fold forward. I can't see you, right? But what I do want to know is that the hinge of your hip is clean, and that you're not rounding like this, because that's not actually, that's getting your back instead of, I want the back of your leg. So sit up, start from here, walk it down. It might mean that you have to do this to keep your spine nice and straight, and that's awesome. And it might mean that you have to do this to keep your spine nice and straight, and that's awesome. Where you're going to begin to take your tail back and your heart long and your fingers long. We just stay for 5. Inner thighs wrap down, just like your bridge. Inner thighs wrap down. Inner thighs wrapping down will take pressure off of your hips and your knees. Just feel what can start to open. Softening the holding in your right thigh. And as you do, see if that softens your chest and your heart can come a little further forward.
Soften the hold of your left back of hip between your sacrum and your outer hip. So here on the low back, that can get really tight and juicy right there. So if you need to come out, square the hips, square the shoulders. Good. Coming upright. You have a couple options. I'm going to take it back. So option 1, hands are back. Press your right knee down. Lift your chest, shoulder blades toward the spine, gaze forward. And you're just making your way back as you can, stretching all the length of your right quadricep. Maybe it means look like this. It may mean that you can support this with 2 blocks so that as you fold back, the back of your heart is lifted and the back of your head is supported. It may mean that you can hold opposite elbows and lengthen your breath. 5. 4. Close your eyes. 'The inhale is long and smooth all the way from your kneecap, through your thigh, through your hip, through your chest. All the space you've made, use it now. Use the breath to lift the ribs away from your hips. 1 more. And then the elbows come down or the hands come down to lift your head, to lift your chest, to walk yourself up. Excellent work. Not an easy thing. Lean left to free your foot. You'll unfold your blanket 1 time beneath you, so you have that wider rectangle. Perfect. So the knee that was bent was your right knee, and you're just going to draw your right heel underneath you towards your left hip. And in that simple posture, lie back. So I set my blocks aside, but I'm still supported on the blanket, and I lie back. My shoulders coming off to my chest. It's a little bitty back bend here. Shoulders fall onto the mat. My left hand holds the top of my right foot, and I work my right knee so that it's straight out of my right shoulder, and my right hip comes a little bit forward. Now I have access to my knee, my hip, and my chest. Draw your left knee in and hold it with your right hand as you can. Ha. And that may be plenty or a little bit wash from side to side. The right hip coming a little bit forward. Keep it all and begin to bring your left knee across and your left knee across and your left knee across until your right elbow can find the floor. And you can support yourself. Right hand on the left knee, right elbow on the floor, a little bit of a twist, and you control how far into that twist you want to go. Sending the right hip forward. Exploring through what the left knee is capable of, where it takes you, and bring it back into the middle. Good. Keep your right shin where it is, and just roll your way up and cross. So that you are now seated with your left foot under your left knee and your right shin straight under you. We're seated like this. Right hand around that knee, left hand behind you. Drop into your hips and revolve. Round a little, exhale, navel to spine. Inhale, sitting up taller. Press your right knee down and spin. Turn your back fingers, turn your left fingers so that they spin away from you, and then they spin pointing to the left behind you, which is actually to the right in front of you. Just keep going towards 9 o'clock behind you. That opens the collarbones. Turn, turn, turn. Perfect place to stay. To finish out the posture, if you choose, lift your front foot, hold the outer heel. Lift your heel. Press. Press your heel into your hand. Sit into your left hip and maybe float the left hand back. Revolve. It's quiet. It has balance and it rinses from the navel to the heart, and from the heart to the top of the head. Your toes pointing up. Breath is long, arms are long. Chest is broad. There is space for joy. There is space for joy. Good. Set it down. Let your bottom foot come a little bit forward. Legs crossed. So your left shin is in front of your right. Walk your fingers forward and fold. Excellent. Excellent. A little bit side to side. I'm going to build the other side. Walk it out. Hands on thighs. So quiet, so simple. Remember, we're going to fold the blanket into its long rectangle. And that long rectangle goes underneath the right hip, and my left knee bends, and my foot flat. So my right hip is the same height as my left. Back of my thigh is supported. Blanket comes to the end of my knee. This could be great. If this is too tight on your left knee, if your left knee has an old injury or any limitation, you're going to fold your blanket in half. Give yourself a little more height and a little less pressure on your knee. Okay? If you've done that, please prop the back of your knee so you don't hyperextend when you fold. Okay? So set yourself up. You feel safe, spine tall, heart high. And just start in your seat. The slightest of back bends lifts the chest, navel to spine. Begin to fold. Begin to fold. And these forward folds, stabilizing all that twisting. We did a lot of revolution today. But we need to use that revolution to clear out the tension that we begin to accumulate internally so that we can breathe again. Feel the space of the backs of your lungs. And as you fold, lengthen your exhalation. And notice if you're forcing or notice if you're rushing. And the body is listening to your instructions, and we go slowly, we go together. There's respect and there's dignity for these incredible tissues and organs that hold us together. Give it time. Give it time. You walk yourself up and sit tall. Relieve that length. And now you choose. So I set up my blocks a little further. Back of the head, back of the chest. Hands down and fingers forward. Wrap your shoulders back and down the body to lift the chest. And press your left knee down. Inner thighs wrap down the way we prepared for bridge. Inner thighs wrap down. And feel the breath. It can be such an incredible place to just stay right there. We hold anger in our quadriceps. And you need a lot of breath. And as we can move and find length in the legs, we can find a peace of mind. Work here, bring your elbows down, supporting the back of your chest. Right in the middle of your chest, right under your heart with your block. And then the back of your head with the other. Maybe hands open, hands on body, or hold the opposite elbows. We stay for 5. Closing your eyes, deepening your breathing. Using your breath to open into all these lines From your right hip to your right heel. From your left knee to your left hip. Your navel to your heart. Your shoulder to your elbow. Slow your breathing. Soften your shoulders. Let your abdomen open lengthwise and widthwise. Elbows down. Lifting the head, lifting the shoulders. Walk yourself up. Perfect. So as you lift your hips, unfold that blanket, find your big padding, and draw your left heel towards your right hip so that your outer thigh and outer shin are towards the floor. Scoot towards the front of your blanket, and then as you lie back, spine is supported and the shoulders drop off. So my right hand takes hold of the top of my left, and I drop the left outer hip onto the blanket. So my outer left knee is in contact with the floor. My right hand has my left foot, and my left hand holds my right knee. Good. And start there. Just deepening the breath. Close your eyes and allow the right knee to explore. Letting your breath help to relieve your right joint, your right hip. And as you explore and as you're ready, you drop that right knee across the body, pressing the left outer knee to the floor. Feel where it's caught. Let your breath become longer and come higher, widening through the ribs and the collarbones, dropping your shoulders into the floor. Close your eyes. Melt. Deep, old reluctance in your joints, And bring it back into the middle. Let it move. Let it move. Let it move. Let it open, 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 open. Good. Good. Release your feet, knees wide. Wide as they can be, holding the inner thigh. Hold right behind the knee and let your knees drop wider. And straighten one leg and bend it. And straighten the other leg and bend it. Knees widen. Just a last reach into the inner thighs. Just pausing. Knees a little forward, knees a little back. We're going to draw the knees together, roll to a seat, cross your right shin in front of your left, last forward fold, and then you're done. Even it up. Right shin in front of left, sitting tall, fingertips forward. Walking. Maybe palms, maybe forearms, maybe forehead. Closing down, lengthening your exhalation.
A little bit side to side. Sides of the spine, sides of the hips. Rising up. Walk yourself back. You may stay on the blanket or slide it behind you to support your spine as you lie back. Legs out long. The body at complete rest. Shake out the feet, shake out the knees. Anything you need to be sublimely comfortable. And just lightly tense the hands. Lightly tense the feet. And let it out. Out the feet, out the hands. Working there, drawing your knees in, just squeeze, making a little bit. And in this space, letting your breathing go to half. Breath rests in the abdomen, growing small and easy. As your breath is resting in your belly, see if it can become smooth without any roughness, without any breaks or gaps.
And deepening your breathing. Your hands reaching out overhead, out through the hands, out through the feet. To walk your feet in. To roll to your right side. Let the back of your body reinflate. And bring yourself to a simple cross-legged seat. Just sweeping wide and reaching tall. Bring your palms together and we finish with our 3 ohms, sounding our sound through ourselves. Inhale up. Thumbs at the forehead center. Satnam, I see myself. Namaste. I see you. Replay it anytime. Use it well, use it fully. We'll make more. All the way up and out through the body. Thank you so much. I have found on this 100th day of being online with you, I don't ever want to be an astronaut. The moments of contact. I have a weekly walk with a friend outside. Take care of yourself. Be with those you know. And with that said, and with the slight shifts in the opening of our state, know that I'm available for privates. It can be one-on-one. The space here is very large. It can be outside here. We have an open deck. We have actual outside rooms here at the building where I live. So it can be one, you can bring a friend, you can bring up to 4 friends. But it's so important to start practicing together as we can, as you choose. So you can reach me through my website to make a schedule or email me if you know me. Donations are supporting all of this and it will go on. Day 100. So good, loves. So good. Share it out. See you soon. Satnam. Hmm.